Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel that is your home for tech, toys, and talk, and of course the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. Now, as you guys know, I have Fan Expo coming up very quick. Fan Expo Canada in Toronto. So, hey, if you see this before then, if you're going to be there Saturday, look for a Ghostbuster that's going to be wearing this silver monster on his back. You'll find me, okay? Now, to prepare for Fan Expo and to prepare for the next stage in Dave's Dimension, the next evolution in the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme, I decided to step things up a little bit, to amp it up, to dial it in and amp it up. If you guys know, you know. Now, for recording on my phone, okay, S25 Ultra. Yes, I am on Android presently, so we'll see. The future holds what the future holds. So one problem I have is in the past, I have used a few different things. Mainly, I have used this cheap yet semi-effective little device. Okay, just simply a handle with a clamp that screws into the bottom, like so, right? Okay, and you could rig it up so your phone is like right here, right? This unscrews like so. Takes a while because phones tend to be wide. Yep. So takes a while to set up, obviously, right? Tighten it. Now your phone's on here. Now obviously you have to be able to turn your phone on, pop open your camera, right? And record. So you're like this, okay? But the problem is, even if you try to keep your, you hold your wrist to try and keep it as steady as possible, you're still going to wibble and wobble, okay? The footage is still going to wibble, wobble. It's not going to be perfect, right? So there's that. Someone bumps into you. Guess what? Now your image is all shot. Your video is all shot. Now, the good thing about this is you can rely on your voice to be picked up by the microphones on your smartphones, whether it's Apple or Android. That is something, right? Or you can just plug a little adapter in here and bam, you can get audio recording. However, I'm sick of one having to try and keep things straight. It never works out for me. It never does. So the good thing is with something inexpensive like this, if you're starting out, it's great because guess what? If you let's say you slide your phone over, far over, right? Now I can take a GoPro with its legs and actually with the right little thumb screw that goes on there, I can actually rig it so that my GoPro is running at the same time. So I can get front view and forward view. So I could turn my camera around so it's facing me. I can do some vlogging here while getting the front video at the same time. But I can't really view this unless I somehow twist it over forwards. There's a lot of complications. But the thing is, I have to make so that my phone is all the way forward here so that it's not picking this up. Problem is, it moves the camera over, makes things a little off center. So now it looks like I'm all the way over here when I'm recording. Okay, a lot of issues with that. It can be a bit cumbersome. Vocabulary word of the day is cumbersome, folks. So this is great if you're starting out. Also, this past year, GB Day, I was like, hey, maybe if I do something with two hands, will that keep it perfectly steady? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest, okay? Something like this, there's a lot of good use cases for this. You want to use this as stands. You can rig up multiple items to go on here, maybe a microphone, maybe a camera, or a GoPro, and then you have your cell phone on this one. It's got a little mount right here. It's not bad. This isn't bad. Or if you want to set it up on a tripod, That way you can have more items on there, and maybe you can rotate the tripod back and forth if you're in a stationary position. So there are use cases for this. Okay? There are definitely use cases for this. However, if you're a vlogger, if you're someone who's on the go, what are your options going to be? Now, recently I recorded the unboxing for the DJI Osmo 7P, which I do plan on using. There you go. It has a motion sensor on the front. So if you're recording a target, this will stay automatically right off the bat. It's automatically keeping steady for whatever I want to do. Okay? There's a lot of different features on here. But this is going to be, if I'm moving around, it can stay on that target. That's the best part of this. Okay? It also has a port right here for a microphone. Now, I also got the DJI microphones. Okay? I got that, which syncs and pairs up perfectly with this. So, I'm going to be using this with my cell phone for when I'm doing interviews. If I'm talking with people, or maybe I want to do a voiceover while I'm doing, like, as I'm walking, I want to do a little bit of vlogging myself. I can pop in my phone. My phone can actually sync up with the DJI app on this. Okay? And of course, like I said, we did get the, there you go, turn it off. There you go. Nice and collapsible. And it's got its own little case for portability. Also, that DJI 7P is also a power bank for my phone, so I can charge up my phone. Now, we also got this. I did a little video talking about these mics. These mics are amazing. These are the ones that sync perfectly up with the DJI Osmo 7P gimbal. Again, look, very small, very portable. We can fit this in a little small pocket. We're good to go. Okay? Charging cables that come with it. There's also a cable that will connect everything, and I can charge everything all together, which is fantastic. However, this video is not about that, guys. It's about, well, if you want to vlog with your GoPro, let's say you have an action camera, you want to get some great footage, but, well, guess what? I can't exactly do that on the DJI Osmo. Some people will use like a little clamp, but it doesn't fit perfectly on there. Plus, honestly, when you calibrate the DJI Osmo 7P, it's being calibrated for your phone. Your phone and a GoPro are two separate things. Mass and weights are going to be different, okay? What do you do? Do you try and spend time to try and recalibrate it so it works when you stop swapping between two? Or do you get what for the past 3 years they've been touting as the best budget gimbal for a GoPro, whether it's GoPro 7 through 13. Everyone and their grandmother's been talking about this one, Hohem Isteady Pro 4. Okay? Now, I've seen the reviews. I've seen the limitations with this. Well, let's see, are there any ways around those limitations? That's where we're about to find out, guys. Okay, guys, so here we are. Got the plastic off. We're about to rip this open for the very first time. So let's see what we get here. Now, again, this is the Hohem Isteady Pro 4. Okay. Now, this is a gimbal. It is everything in here. Almost everything. Okay. Nothing else. There we go. Empty box. Gee. So, there we go. And take a look at this. Bottom of the case. It has its own case, which is cool. Now, I will say this. In the DJI Osmo 7P, I just got this little bag. This little, kind of a felt kind of a bag. You can barely see the Osmo branding right here. Little drawstring. You can probably clip this onto like a carabiner or something. Onto your keys. Hang it from your waist if you want. But take a look at this. Everything is form-fitting. Okay? This looks very nice. Feels good in the hands. Giggity. So, we get some Hohem branding that you can hardly see. There you go. A little zoom up there. There you go. Now you can see it. It's something that a lot of companies are doing. Obviously, DJI Osmo, they did like where you can hardly see the Osmo unless you're in a nice brightly lit area. So let's go ahead and pull this open. Now, right off the bat, what do we got? We got your papers, we got your quick instructions right here, and we get a nice thick book in every language you can possibly imagine. There you go. Okay. Do we get any trolling stickers? No, we don't. Safety guides. Why do they have safety guides? Well, I'll explain. Okay. This is not just a gimbal. It's also a power bank. There you go. This has some heft to it, man. Now, I think the power is supposed to be like 8 or so hours. You can also charge it from a power bank while it's supplying power to your device, which is cool. We get a little side threaded port. So if maybe you want to connect some kind of like an exterior mic or something, you technically could. You could do that, but it won't be recording directly into your device. Of course, we get our series of wires, USB to USB Type-C, and we get our multiple ports. Now this right here, this is what I'm talking about here. These jacks are so that you can plug directly into this unit. Okay? If you notice, let me see, where is it at? Right there. There is a part on here where you can actually plug this directly into, let me see here. I think that's right here. Let me see. I'll have to take a look here. No, right here. So right here, there is a little port where you can plug this wire into, and that will plug into your GoPro or your whatever action camera you wish to use, and that will actually charge it along the lines. Now, we also get this little stand here. Okay. Yes, it is plastic, little rubber grommets at the bottom to give nice little steadiness, so it kind of grabs onto the surface. Okay. Now you can just thread this into the port here at the bottom of the handle, or you can even connect that into any tripod. Let's say you want to do some self content of your own. You can rig this up so that it's on a tripod, or just have this as an extra handle, which is kind of cool. So it gives you a little bit extra height. Of course, it's got a trigger like most gimbals do. And of course, we have our different modes right here. Let's see if we can get that to focus right there. So of course, we got our PF. We got all the different modes right here. Let's see here. Let's see. Of course, we got our lights right here that will show the battery power once we turn this on. There you go. Right off the, we got full charge right off the bat. How is that? Let's see here. We got our different modes. Let's see if I can get this to move around. Probably because I don't have anything plugged into it right now. Now, the way this is going to work is, okay, we have our little lever right here. It's on like a little elastic. Like a little elastic connector right here. So we got give here, okay? Now, we're going to take our GoPro out of the mod. Connect our door back on. Now, this should... Now, if you notice right here, it's kind of blocking. The little door I have open right here is kind of blocking it, okay? And the way this is designed, there is a bit of a frame right here, right? There is a frame right here, which it's like it's blocking it right there. So I'm going to, just for craps laughs, I'm going to take that off. Okay. We slide this on. If you notice, it slides perfectly in there. Now the arm should be able to come up. We got our little elastic band. Let's see if I can get this on. There we go. So it should be able to. Let me put the power back on. Okay, let me see if I can get this right side up. I think I have it on backwards, actually. Do I? Let's see here. Now, there is an app that will sync up with your GoPro. So we can actually put the app on a cell phone and we could set it to do certain things. There we go. Now I'm going to have to calibrate this and set this up properly because, you know, human error is human error. Let's go ahead and get this set up correctly. So I think I might have it on backwards. We'll see. So, after much time, I finally got everything synced up. So as you can see, GoPro, there's different modes. I gotta get used to this. But it definitely is going to help me out tremendously. Now what's great is, on the back side of here, we can actually start recording. Right from here. So we can start and stop recording. We can take pictures. Let's see here. I don't want photos. I want video. There we go. So, just to show you guys right there. There you go. We're recording right now. So, as you guys can see, and I'm going to take the video and overlay it on here so you can guys actually see what we're actually doing. And what I'm going to do is I'm purposely going to shake this around. And we'll see. Is it steady? Is it shaking around? But again, to show you guys right there, it stops. So it's great that we have control on the handle itself. Now, I do have to get used to this. Now, if we go to the POV mode, and if I adjust this, we can do the infamous Inception mode. Rotate it all the way around. So yeah, we can get some pretty awesome shots here. And I'm hoping to be able to do that at Fan Expo. Now, like I said, once and also, by the way, like I said, this is a charging bank. So as you can see, we have all 4 dots right there. So how that would work is there is a charging port from here to here in here. There's also a separate charging port if I want to run a separate wire down in here. The USB wire right there, that port, that's our charging port out. And we have a USB Type-C for the charging port in right there by my finger. So this has everything. Now, if you do a double click on the trigger, it's supposed to bring it back down to the original calibration. I'm going to have to play around with that. So there is a little bit of a learning curve with this. Now, as I said before, regrettably, there's no way around getting the mod on here. The only way I possibly see getting the mod on, let's see if this is even possible. First, I'm going to turn this off. Okay. Now that this is off, slide this out. No, I don't want anything. I want you to be, and also, obviously, this is warm. This is pretty warm because I was using a lot of battery power while this was running. Sadly, the thing is here's the media mod, and here's the mount. It's just too oversized. I guess there could be a way to do it. Maybe if we, I don't want to, but like if you cut this portion, because this is the media mod itself. Okay, this is just a soft little button tab here and a button tab here. I mean, you could essentially kind of cut this off, and maybe if you were to mount this on the outside, it could possibly work, but you need a way to attach this to the GoPro. So I mean, that could be done, but I mean, you're basically cutting this out. Other people, what they've done is there is a separate adapter you can buy, okay? And you can mount said adapter on the side here so that you can connect a microphone. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on anything like that before the con. So, like I said before, we're going to be using this for B-roll, getting footage of cosplayers, people online, showing you guys the scope of Fan Expo Toronto. I call it Fan Expo Toronto because it's, even though they call it Fan Expo Canada, it's Toronto. It's Toronto at its latest and greatest. So, in addition to that, we will be using the DJI Osmo 7P for recording. So I'm going to have my phone on here. And like I said, what's great is also you have charging on this too. This also is a power bank. And I love how now this can connect onto the cell phone. So I'll be able to do that. But yeah. So that's going to be the trick is I'm going to have one gimbal on one side and another gimbal on the other side. I do have a mount where I can actually throw this onto the proton pack, onto the strap of the proton pack like a body cam. But even with stabilization on, you're going to have shaking. Okay, that's where the GoPro comes in, or the new gimbal right here. That's where this comes in, and I can easily connect something onto here, so I could hang this from my belt. Okay, so when it's not in use, I can have this hanging from the belt, the camera in one of my pockets. Same thing for my cell phone, and have this one hanging on the other side. Easily done. It's not that hard. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have that going on. We're gonna have the mics. I mean, I love the mics, and that's a whole other video, guys. But there we are. Is it perfect? No. There are workarounds, yes. And I like how, because with the DJI Osmo 7P, it does have that Inception effect as well. You do have apps for both of these, okay? You can upload firmware for this. However, there is a bit of a calibration. Calibration for this was so friggin' easy, it's not even funny. Calibration for this was basically once you're connected to Wi-Fi, you have to lay this down in certain positions while you have the GoPro plug, connected into it. And you have to like move it from one position and then another position and another position to wait for it to kind of like supposedly stabilize. It's not the greatest experience, I'll be perfectly honest. It really isn't. It's not the greatest experience, but you can get through. It took me 2 tries and I got it through. Okay? But like I said, it's something. A little vibration going through here because it's trying to stabilize itself. But right now, obviously, it keeps buzzing because it knows that there's no GoPro in it. And what's great is, I mean, it's so easy to, you just pull this, lift it up, bam, it's open. We pop this in. Now, GoPro batteries, they can run down very, very quickly. So it's definitely recommendable to have plenty of batteries or to do the power cord so you can power off of this. That's probably going to be one of the smartest things for me. I'm going to have three batteries plus the battery that's inside of it. Plus, I'm going to have the power bank, so I should have plenty of power for the GoPro to get plenty of footage. Okay, um, it is what it is. And the thing is, honestly, even if it is upside down, any editing program you have out there, well, whether it's Filmora, whether you're using Premiere, whatever you're using out there, all you gotta do is just basically rotate. Just do a couple, couple 90 rotations. You're good. 90-degree rotations, 1, 2, 3, bam. Bob's your uncle. You can rotate your footage. It's not that hard, guys. It really, really isn't. Okay? So there we are, guys. What do I think of this? Well, I'm going to find out this weekend. But so far, when I turn the power on, there's a little Bluetooth indicator, and you see there's a green light right there, right? That means that this device is synced up with the GoPro. There you go. I'm recording right now. Okay. There you go. It stopped. So there we go. Like I said, right off the bat, first mode, it's automatically stabilizing. It's automatically stabilizing, and I love it. There's ease, and yes, you can turn it around. There is a POV motion, so I can actually record myself. This one is, now this first mode that it's on is a pan motion, so if you move slightly, it will start to rotate with it. Okay. So there's a lot of features on here. Honestly, the first, I probably going to keep it on the third one when I'm panning around, when I'm walking around. I think that's the best one here. Now, if you notice the screen is lit, it turns off because for power. I actually have my settings on here. Let me turn this off. Okay, so my settings on here are set in such a way where I have the front screen is off. I have the back screen dims off after a while to try and conserve power as much as I can. Now, also, if I'm out in the sun, I have the screen lit pretty bright right now. For Fan Expo, I'm probably going to dim the light on the screen for a good chunk. Okay. Now, if you're saying, well, Dave, how do you know if you're getting good video or not? Well, when it comes to the GoPro, there is a GoPro Quick app that I can actually sync up with my phone, and I can sync this up, and I can actually review my footage on my cell phone. So, hypothetically speaking, what I could do if I wasn't using this for other purposes was I could take a mount, connect it onto here, so I have my phone here, and then use my phone as a monitor for my GoPro. Have you ever thought of that, guys? No? Stay tuned. I'll show you guys a future video on that, on how you can use your cell phone or even an old tablet, sync it up. Let's say you're somewhere with Wi-Fi. You got both devices running on the same Wi-Fi. You can send the data there. If you have like an old tablet, an old phone you're not using, you could sync them up and use it as a display, guys. I'll do a future video on that if you guys want to see it. So let me know in the comment section below. I know this one was kind of a crazy long one, but guys, there is so much good stuff in here. But guys, until next time, you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. But wait, I'm going to say something else first. Again, if you like this content, you like seeing the tech side of things, especially when it comes to upgrading your kit, so to speak, hey, you guys know where to go. Hit that button, hit that red button below that says subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and hit that like button, guys. Because I'm working on doing a little bit more tech content. Of course, I love collecting action figures. Who doesn't? But I also have a lot of 3D printing coming through the pipeline. We need to finish the time circuit keypad. We'll be finishing up that very soon. And where do I have it? I'll show you guys. Oh, and here we go. The speedometer from the DeLorean Back to the Future. I've made one, and we may be doing another one, but one that maybe lights up. Speeds up, who knows? Maybe we have some future upgrades to the Flux Pack to make it kick up a few notches, okay? But guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting, and you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.